Good evening. My name is Selene. I am a vampire, and I am here at the behest of the Vampire Council to answer all of your most pressing questions regarding vampirism. Not my choice, it is community service for some crimes against humanity or whatever. Anyway, I'll get to your first question, which is why do you live in Arizona instead of Seattle? Well, for one thing, I don't live in Arizona. That would be stupid because, as you know, I sparkle in the light, and Arizona is sunny like 360 days out of the year, so I would certainly be found out very quickly. And the United States government is not particularly fond of vampires, which is kind of ridiculous because they're apparently just fine with all these zombies lately. Have you seen them? They're Pokemon Go zombies or something. They're like wandering around, bumping into things, wandering into traffic, creating a nuisance of themselves and damaging property left and right. I mean, yes, vampires, okay, we eat a person from time to time, but seriously, these Pokemon Go zombies are worse. Clearly so much worse. Anyway, no, do not live in Arizona, and I certainly don't live in Seattle. It's full of other vampires. I mean, I don't like humans. You are super annoying, but Seattle is basically all vampires. So if I lived there, I'd be having to talk with them and interact with them and do vampire weekends with them and whatnot. And I don't know about you know this about vampires because I'm sure I'm the only one that you have met. But most vampires are super annoying, really narcissistic, extremely arrogant, and, you know, rude and things like that. So, anyway, don't live in Seattle. And in case this is your way of trying to trick me into telling you where I live, it's not going to work. I understand that I'm charming and wonderful and beautiful and you want to get to know me, bump into me casually on the way to the blood bank, but it's not going to happen. I don't like humans. I don't like you. So, there we are. Anyway, next question from Mr. Miggs Media. I guess that's a pseudonym. It's not a real name. He writes, if you were bitten by a werewolf, would you turn into one, or which curse would take precedence? Are you insinuating that I would allow some slobbering dog beast close enough to me to bite me? Or any other vampire? That is extremely insulting. I don't know if you know this, but this is not like some book or movie or TV show where vampires and werewolves are like best friends and have romantic trysts and whatnot. We don't like each other. Insinuating that I would ever let one within arm's length of me, let alone biting distance, is insane. But I have an idea for you. I'm sure you are a man with a keen scientific mind and so would appreciate a little experiment. I'm sure that I have at least one werewolf who will take my phone calls. So the werewolf and I will come over to your house and we will conduct an experiment. Thank you so much for volunteering yourself as test subject. Anyway, next question. Do vampires have weight problems? Are you trying to say something to me personally? Because I look amazing. I'm 450 years old and I look like a teenager. And clearly I do not have a weight problem. So I hope you're asking about other vampires and not me. And no. Basically, I mean, blood bags are single serving. I mean, they're like lean cuisine for vampires. And yes, I understand, not all vampires are as cultured as I am. They don't all go to the blood bank. Some of them look for food the old-fashioned way, and an entire human is, well, a little more than a vampire needs. But then we just don't eat for 2 or 3 weeks. You know, like a snake. They eat an entire antelope, and they just, like, don't eat for 3 months. We don't generally have weight problems. There's probably 1 or 2 fat vampires in the entire world, so no. But the vampire diet plan is not one for you. It is a fad diet that was crazy in the 90s, but I would not. I would not try it. So, anyway, thank you for all your questions. I enjoyed answering them so very much. Tune in next time, whatever. Go away.